Hello everyone, it's Sammy from Push Square, and... What are you giving me that look for, Ramsey? I'm just reading the script you gave me. I don't know what you're supposed to do, Hold on. I can explain this. Reasonably. Hello everyone, this is actually Joey Thurmond from Push Square, and I recently put up a soapbox article called Subtleties of the Soul series that make it special. And that came from me thinking about Dark Souls 3 recently, of course, and playing Demon Souls as well. What has made Miyazaki's franchise so successful over time? Well, a lot of people already know the answers to that, but what about some of the more nuanced things that people don't usually think about that are special on a more minor level? Well, okay, since Sammy's undead at the moment and trying to regain his humanity, go and grab your Estus flasks, because we're going to rush through 5 points that I make that only give a small glimpse at the genius underneath the Soul series that has enthralled so many people for years. Most game developers feel safer adding music in between all the big moments of games. Whether it's ambient, low-key, or action-packed, extra songs prevent players from losing a sense of immersion while they're roaming through a town or doing a small battle. It shows that we crave consistent, varied music. We like songs that complement normal circumstances and thematically mirror whatever we're doing or wherever we are. But From Software utilizes tracks sparingly with hub worlds and bosses to amplify their emotional power. You're comforted more in Majula to an uncommonly soft melody of warm chimes. Fighting Gehrman in Bloodborne is more chilling as you're treated to an epic orchestral piece charged with elegance. However, in between the hub worlds and bosses, you have nothing to reflect on but the ambience and noise of the usual exploration and combat. It makes you intently listen to the audio, and by doing this with all the sound cues during fights or wondering what's in the distance, you're more invested in these games during normal gameplay. The absence of music always piques interests, and the Soul series only increases this by making it a reward for progression in itself. We can usually make up for mistakes with checkpoints and save files without penalty. Some developers take these liberties away like Telltale Games with its episodic series, but you can still replay entire sections if you want to fix a bad decision. However, the Soul series resurrects something from the old days of gaming where you had to play through titles entirely and live with your mistakes until the end. The Soul series reasonably allows you to save your progress, but it's set up so that every moment cannot be undone. If you accidentally kill an NPC, the games always save. If you're knocked off a ledge before getting back to a stockpile of souls or blood echoes, they're gone. The consequences are immediate and permanent, which means if you want to go back just a minute before you increase the stat, you're out of luck. Even minor decisions during character interactions you've likely forgotten can come back to bite you. With such an unpredictable, unalterable future, every moment in the Soul series is worth paying attention to, which is an uncommon, compelling attitude to demand of gamers in an age of hand-holding and convenience. Why do you regenerate health as a normal human in first-person shooters? How does a character actually develop talents in a skill tree from a story angle? There are aspects about games that are simply gamey, which end up feeling out of place or awkward when they present themselves seriously. We usually have to suspend disbelief when someone like your The Division agent is able to carry hundreds of items. And while the Souls games actually ignore that last thing too, they're still exceedingly consistent about giving logical purpose to everything. Checkpoints take the form of bonfires in the Dark Souls games that are essential to light not just for the gameplay's sake, but for the story as well. In Demon Souls, your soul goes back to an archstone upon death since you're connected to the Nexus, which explains respawning. Leveling up in Bloodborne isn't an abstract system, but is narratively sound, in being about increasing your connection with the memories of your victims through their blood echoes. Generic items and weapons can also reveal integral information behind the vague storytelling, and that's not including the intricate placement of environmental objects and elements. These things and more prove that Miyazaki is highly concerned in building consistent universes that make sense when channeled through game structures. A sign of brilliant level design is when players don't have to rely on objective markers or a minimap, but can use their surroundings to figure out how to get somewhere. From Software understands this to a T. You receive glimpses of the bell tower of the undead parish on your way there in Dark Souls to see how close you're getting. The sequel's No Man's Wharf has a ship in view the whole time while you're trying to get there, which makes the winding adventure all the more fun. Whether it also be Demon Souls' Tower of Latria or the Dirge's Tower in Old Yarnum, landmarks are a natural, undervalued way of monitoring your progress and situating yourself in game worlds. What comes with this slowly growing knowledge of the world layouts are epiphanies where you'll suddenly connect the dots with certain areas. The Souls series is great about taking you off the beaten path and looping strange areas back to a familiar place. It's always surprising when it happens, which contributes to maintaining the excitement of exploration. Your educated guesses of where you are might be well-founded, but From Software will not fail to make you exclaim in wonder when its mad twisting worlds unveil their hidden coherence. If there's one aspect of From Software's games that throws everyone off, it's the animation. Never have I played games that so cleverly deceive me with how and when new enemies will feign strikes and frantically lash out. Even with Demon Souls, I marvel at the time variations and how long enemies will take to slash or lunge a weapon, which always makes me second guess if I'll correctly parry or dodge. It shows how your skills and reflexes aren't the only things meant to be challenged. From Software is always intended to psychologically trip you up too. This isn't limited to your enemies, but also your own character. The effective usage of some weapons can require almost prophetic vision to strike fast-moving opponents. You need to know everything about your character's motions to unleash brutal yet controlled advances, including how precisely long it takes to dodge, heal, and more during split seconds. Because of this, many would rightly argue that the Souls series should run at 60 frames per second, but thanks to these elaborate animations, gameplay doesn't play like a jerky, unpleasant mess. It can look and feel like beautiful dances with death that take your breath away. And that's about it. What did you think about some of the subtleties that I put on the list? What would you add, change, maybe entirely remove? Go like moths to the flame in the comment section below to let us know. And remember to keep it locked to Push Square for all news related to the Souls games and anything from Software. Thanks for watching.